substitutions for the University coming onto the field. Number 50, Asha Sutton, and number 37, Juliet Chu. Coming from the fields, number 39, Alexei Saltarov, and number 8, Madison Van Dyke.
Testing, testing, we are here. This is my normal speaking voice, roughly where we would sit for most of it. Around here, probably a little louder.
That's a goal to University. I'm not too sure who scored it. University 4, UNSW 1. That's full time down the top threes. University 4, UNSW 1. Down 10 minutes to the big match.
University Derby, always a fun fixture on the calendar, and having drawn the reverse fixture earlier in the year, bragging rights are up for grabs right here today at the Sydney University campus. Sydney Uni, they've been in good form and have been creating plenty of problems for teams above them on the ladder. This young side playing with plenty of confidence to run down season 2025, and conversely on the other end, UNSW are playing for plenty still. Finals are still within reach, but anything less than a win here today would really complicate that with just 4 games to go beyond this one. So they know they really need to get a win against their Derby rivals away from home today. Absolute pleasure to bring you this women's match of the round right here on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. My name is Will Constantinides. Very keen for this one. Without any further delay, let's get you straight into the team news, starting with Sydney Uni. They're fresh off a upset win last weekend here against the Mount Druitt Town Rangers. Goals to Hogan and Benara getting the job done against the former league leaders and Sapphire Cup finalists, which really stamped Sydney Uni's credentials as real party spoilers down the back end of the year. Make a few changes to the lineup, but
starting lineup for Sydney University as follows.
Still very much strong 11 as we run through now. Number 2 is Charlotte Owen. Number 4 is Amelia Feeney. Number 6 is Charlotte Hogan. Number 7, Talia Captain-Ellis. Number 13, Megan Simpson. Number 16, Talia Sambrook. Number 19, Poppy Tay. Number 20 is Jenny Hill. Number 26, Jennifer Kokoris. Number 31, Sophia Fante. And number 62, Tiana Petkovsky. As for UNSW, they're also off a win. 2 wins in a row, looking to make it 3. They had that game postponed, so they're still waiting for a midweek reschedule against the Mount Druitt Town Rangers, and depending on when that's played, that could well decide whether or not they're in the finals. Mount Druitt are the side they are chasing at the moment. The Rangers sit in 4th. UNSW 5 points behind. The Rangers do have a game in hand, which means that winning that game is extremely important for UNSW, as is this one right here. UNSW will come in as slight favourites, but it's much of a muchness really when you look at how well both teams have been playing. There's plenty of experience up and down the 11, but the big news for UNSW is that they are without their usual starting keeper, Sarah Langman. In her place comes in backup Carla Howell. As for the rest of the 11, it goes like this for UNSW. Number 4 is Aya Yamahata. Number 5, Leah Puxty. Number 10, Chloe Smith. Number 11, Marcella Santos. Number 12, coming into the 11, is Alira Toby. 14, Abby Lemon. 15, who picked up a rare goal last week, Mariam Mostagimi. 17, Angelique Christodoulou. 19, Trudy Camilleri. And number 56, Jasmine Lemon. All that out of the way, all that remains is kickoff. Very difficult to tell, of course. Plenty of fixtures still to be played today. We'll keep you updated on those because they could well affect UNSW. Sydney Olympic getting 3 points over the Spirit earlier today will help UNSW in trying to chase down the Spirit and other teams above them. Still have a bit of work to do. Our referees today out in the middle is Alana Zich. Assistant referees Felix Atkin-Bodden and Gabriella Archidiakono. Both been attacking quite well in recent weeks. They're both on a great run of scoring. Even Sydney Uni, who lost a couple of weeks ago, have lost more recently than their opponents, but a 4-3 thriller against RPM, in which they really pushed them all the way. Well won by Marcella Santos. She can look to drive forward with Toby ahead of her. Toby looking for that early pass centrally, and Chloe Smith was at full stretch trying to get there, and Sophia Fante had to quickly run across to get it. You see it on the charge here, getting forward. A quick burst forward. Captain-Ellis is in the box. That's where they go. And Captain-Ellis couldn't quite angle her body out of the way there, but another blistering attack by Sydney Uni. Both teams wanting to get forward early. A real player to watch, no surprises there. She's getting involved early. Christodoulou is taking that matchup. Those two are very interesting to watch as the game goes on. And broke forward quite well as Feeney will recover. See what UNSW are trying to do, just trying to keep their opponents boxed in here. Yamahata. Some space to work with. Decides to check back. Poppy Tay at the top of the attack for Sydney Uni. Mostagimi able to turn away from her and has found a handy pass out wide. Feeney will clear under no major pressure. Now it's a battle for it in midfield. It's Abby Lemon who has it at her feet, and she can create a bit of problems down this wing. Now she looks for that low-driven cross, but unable to connect. It still stays at the feet of Marcela Santos and UNSW. They're building some nice pressure here, the visitors. Lemon again. This time was trying to link up with Puxty. UNSW have committed numbers forward as Tay tries to keep it in but can't do so. Camilleri. Now with Yamahata, Hill pressing her, and now Capitanellis is waiting on the touch from Christodoulou, which was slightly loose, of course. No surprises that the pitch is not the most friendly to play on, so to speak. There is some nice patches out wider, but through the middle it's going to be difficult for both teams as Owen nods that out of play. Christodoulou and Santos try to exchange passes. It's broken up by Capitanellis, and Tay was looking lively to go forward. As mentioned, they split the earlier game between them, 1-1 earlier in the season. So bragging rights are all for the taking here as Capitanellis is looking centrally. Kokoris is there. Couldn't quite find her. So far the game through 5 minutes has played as expected. UNSW holding slightly more pressure. It's a lovely lead by Santos, equally as good from Toby to help her, and an errant pass from Camilleri, who had Christodoulou in a lot of space, but that's exceptional interplay between Toby and Santos. A lot of experience between the two of them. Toby with plenty of reps in the A-League women's competition, formerly of Sydney Olympic, now playing for UNSW. Santos, a long-time UNSW player, got promoted with them. Yamahata, that's come off the back of Poppy Tay. Camilleri has Kokoris for company, and it'll stay with UNSW, and Camilleri's just maybe felt a bit of extra in that challenge. Referee Alana Zich just coming over to make sure the veteran midfielders are all good. Judy Camilleri, a long-time servant of this competition. Chorus looking to turn. Temporarily stop their progress. Meanwhile, the ball is hooked up. Hill is underneath it. Brought forward by Hogan, and there is Camilleri. Seems to have shrugged it off, trying to put in a challenge, and Mostagimi and Yamahata end up sorting it out, but it's not quite away just yet, and now they're bursting away. Tay again continues to pose a constant threat up top. As soon as that ball is loose, Tay is immediately looking to get forward. Still looking for her first goal of the season. It's her third start in recent weeks. She's had too many starts at first grade level. Here's Poppy Tay. Gets the nod here today. Meanwhile, UNSW have found themselves the first corner of the game. Taking no chances, clearing it out over the sideline. And now Christodoulou will come across to take. The wind is blowing in UNSW's favour. It was down at pitch level before the game, and it's quite a decent breeze. So this will curl into Sophia Fante, who's been one of the best keepers this season. This will put her under heavy pressure. Mostagimi is amongst the mix right in front of her. Yamahata, Santos, and Toby, all targets as well. Here comes the quarter from Christodoulou. It's right in the mix, and Sophia Fante was wiser to that and just tips it over the bar. And now Christodoulou has to make the long march all the way out to the other side, but we're able to put it in a good position there for her. Sophia Fante, who has been signed by Sydney FC. Very easy to see why. Speaking of Sydney FC, here's former Sydney FC player Angelique Christodoulou across the take. More of an out-swinging one this time. Goes for a looping delivery. Alira Toby is the target. They do fight her. Now it's with Yamahata. And underneath it, University of Sydney are able to clear their lines, and now they might look about trying to get further forward. Already crossed the field of play, and so Sydney Uni will get a bit of a break and just reset things. Have had to sustain a decent amount. Both these sides about middle of the run defensively. Fair to say an open game could be expected. Some clearance. It's going to fall kindly here for Capitanellis and Owen. Those two can keep the attack alive. Capitanellis goes down under the challenge and waved away by Lana Zich, much to the frustration of the Sydney Uni bench. And Oz Rowley down. I was keeping an eye on his reaction, and they were not happy with that one with Sydney Uni, but there was certainly a bit of contact there. It's just a question of to what degree and really how much was in it. No doubt that Capitanellis did catch something there. There was some contact. Very feeling that she may have gone down a bit easier if it was going both ways. A big warning shot fired by Sydney Uni. They are a dangerous team when they get going, and you cannot take this team lightly at all. Camilleri working in midfield to keep possession. Now it's with Limon. NSW holding plenty of the ball right now. All about trying to make it count. Now it's with Hill. Turned over, and Camilleri will take her time. UNSW, they're happy to keep the ball in the middle of the pitch. It's a bumpy old track down there, but so far they're playing well as Bounce gets the better of Christodoulou there. Just not only without the usual keeper Sarah Langman at UNSW, they're also without Demi Koulazakis. Former Sydney Uni player herself, was part of that star-studded 2017 roster, which featured a handful of now Matildas and women's players up and down that team. Sydney Uni team a different sort of flavour. They're a young side as Hogan gives away the foul, and Uni have been very vocal about a couple of the calls recently. What can UNSW do here? Mostagimi stands over it. Good ball in as well. It's going to catch a couple of players out. Toby looks to get on the end of it before Feeney gets it away, and Capitanellis looks to go through midfield. Hill turns, finds Kokoris, who goes to ground. Lemon doing her defensive work, and again UNSW keep things ticking over in midfield. Camilleri now with Toby, who had time to pick out the pass, and it might not get there to Christodoulou as Capitanellis uses her speed to win and keep the ball. Speculative pass up ahead. Toby. Numbers weren't in UNSW's favour as Sandbrook. Sydney eventually clear, and that's a great touch by Poppy Tay under a bit of pressure as well, just to pluck it out of the sky. So far, Sydney Uni are rolling with the punches quite well. The key is going to be trying to establish more of a foothold in midfield as Lemon, Camilleri and Smith have really controlled things so far. Kokoris winning it back. Mustagimi, Tay is there pressing and almost won it back, but Lemon was again there to help her out. Jasmine Lemon has been instrumental to UNSW's dominance here early. Christodoulou ducking inside with Capitanellis. That's going to be a good battle. It already has been. The experience of Angelique Christodoulou against the youth and pace and real star quality of Talia Capitanellis. Ball is allowed to bounce in midfield before it's eventually seen away. Chorus nods it on. He is back there. Sent back by Hogan. Sandbrook rather, and again UNSW doing well to just keep the ball. It's been a frustrating start as Owen looks for Capitanellis. Yamahata comes away with it. And there's Hogan again, and now Tay could pounce on this error. UNSW's defense isn't in its structure. Tay looking to get past Mustagimi, and there's no way through there, but again, just these errors and loose balls are there to be won by Sydney Uni. Hogan is down there to whip this one in. The numbers are all around the back post. This one will be going right into that 6-yard area. Good delivery needed from Hogan. Howell hasn't had much to do really through the first 15 minutes compared to the very busy Sophia Fante. And it goes. It's towards the near post, and Christodoulou knew it was going out of play, and so the situation easily dealt with. Yamahata goes long, and Owen set out of play. Nodded back by Sandbrook. Feeney has to go up for it as well. It comes down with Santos. Smith. Now Christodoulou. Christodoulou shaping for that pass. Now works it to Smith. UNSW keeping the ball moving. Santos goes down under the challenge. No foul is played. Paid continues, and Toby has gotten into the area. Now it's with Lemon at the back post. Puts the strike on and caught it well, but a little too well, as it went over the bar, and a bit of confusion on the edge of the area, which UNSW were almost able to benefit from. Exactly the sort of player you would want in that position, Abby Lemon. Fante goes long, and one back by Limon, and still here with UNSW. They've got numbers out on the left with Camilleri and Lemon if they could find her, and they do. Abby Lemon. Well broken up by Kokoris, and now looks to play Petkovsky on the far side. Tiana Petkovsky has Tay ahead of her. She sprung the offside trap. Poppy Tay can strike for herself. Great save, and now it's cleared away by Yamahata. Capitan Ellis was there trying to steal one, but good work by Akala Howe to punch it away from danger. Great timing between Petkovsky and Tay there. Couldn't have played that pass at a more perfect moment to set her up. Yamahata continues to just clear things away. She's been very busy, as has Mostagimi, as Camilleri looks to force her way through midfield. Almost did, had it not been for Amelia Feeney. Now they've turned it over Sydney. Toby going in strong, wasn't giving it an inch, and now it's a chance to go forward. Meanwhile, Chorus is down in back play here. Might have caught a bit extra from that challenge from Alira Toby. And 18 minutes gone. It's been, as expected, fast and well played between both teams. UNSW holding more of the ball, but it's Howell who's probably had to make the better save. And so, of course, looks like she's okay, but a good moment for both teams just to stop and assess and should be all right to continue, and she's just waiting for the all good to get back on. Now Kokoris is back out there. Lemon. We'll get a second go at trying to keep this ball. It'll stay with her and UNSW. And now they'll get the long throw. And for Kokoris, continues her streak of playing in every game in first grade this season across the league. It's a massive streak. She's had to do a few from the bench, but she's now started back-to-back games after a spell on the bench. Definitely part of this young, homegrown Sydney Uni contingent is the 19-year-old midfielder. Lemon. Ready to turn out of trouble, but can't quite do so. Now she does, and it's just opened up that left-hand side for Puxty and Smith, but final pass was missing. Sydney will get the ball back. This pass will be collected easily by Fonte. It's been a little while since Sydney Uni have kept a clean sheet. They'd love to do one in the derby. 4 games without one as Capitan Ellis turns the corner well and just ran into too many black shirts as she still got the ball. Somehow Talia Capitan Ellis before losing out to a combination of Camilleri and Christodoulou. Yamahata. Christodoulou. Pass forward by Lemon, intended for Santos. Owen takes no chances. Send that out over the sideline. Santos. Looking for options on the edge of the area. UNSW have been happy to be patient with the ball. Yamahata has found Christodoulou. This is a good crossing position. Can't quite get enough on it. Capetanellis is pinned back here. It'll be difficult for Sydney Uni to build a counter from this position. They've been really forced back as it's sent up. Yamahata stepping out of the line now. It's with Camilleri. Think about the shot herself. Has got Feeney in the air. Great strike by Trudy. Camilleri had caught it well from the top of the box. Got the defender with the initial fake and then put it into the bottom corner from there. And UNSW draw first blood in the derby. Off the back of a great strike from their midfielder, Trudy Camilleri. A great solo goal. And just her third of the season as well.
The goal, the UNSW.
First, it's way back in round 13 against the Northern Tigers.
University nil, UNSW 1.
Now they're looking to go forward again, trying to get two. Now it's with Toby. Smith is busting to get into the area. Feeney has to be careful that she doesn't get caught with it here, and now she has been, and the bounce just got the better of Toby. But UNSW have been buoyed on by that goal. It another. They continue their scoring run. It's now their fourth consecutive game finding the back of the net, knowing that their season is on the line. Capetanellis has found Hill. For a brief moment, Tay was away. Christodoulou looks down the line for Santos, and she'll find her. Santos has gotten around Feeney, and the bounce and bobble on the goal line. Just couldn't keep it in. They have to be wary, UNSW. They are under real threat on the counter-attack from Sydney Uni. They've gotten a good goal to start. Puts them into a good position on the live ladder. The ball goes out and we get a break in play. We'll run you through some scores from around the grounds, which are really going to impact UNSW. Flores couldn't keep it. Yamahata check of the shoulder to recognise the press is coming, and Sydney Uni have forced the error. Owen was thinking that Capetanellis was going to be stationed along the sideline, and with that break in play, we will take a look around the grounds. So Hape Leichhardt have taken a 1-0 lead in that top four matchup against Manly, and that'll be news to UNSW, who are one of the teams that are looking to chase down Manly. Lamont going forward. Toby had left it. Still here with Alira Toby, looking to wind up the strike. Has found Lemon at the back post, looking to bring it down, but couldn't do so. There was Simpson to clear, and Husky could drive forward. Sydney looking to bounce back, but Camilleri has just halted them for a moment. Sort their feet out on the edge of the area. Poppy Tay was there. Now Toby, it's end-to-end stuff here, and has done well to find Santos. Lemon is getting forward, but it was always a low percentage option to play through the defence, and Sydney will just take the moment to reset things after a chaotic couple of moments. And they know that there are avenues forward. They know that, especially on the counter, that UNSW have been open at times, especially when they do commit numbers forward. And they have forced Howell into a good save earlier. Poppy Tay has come the closest of anyone in blue and gold so far, but certainly going to be a challenge as Pekovsky looks to connect on the end of this pass. Puxy is to shepherd it out of play and successfully does so. elsewhere. Bulls have already defeated the Western Sydney Wanderers, so that keeps their stay at the top. Olympic have defeated the Spirit a little earlier, which is a result that certainly helps UNSW, who are in 7th with 3 points behind Spirit coming into this match day. They won't go above them. Spirit have better goal difference, but nevertheless will help. Meanwhile, the Rangers are up 1-0 against the Rams. They've won it back here. Uni in a good position. Tay looking for Capitanellis, a little strong, but it'll stay with Uni for now. Capitanellis holds up play and waits for support. Hill is coming across. Instead, looks into midfield. Chloe Smith with some industrious defensive work. Yamahata gets there ahead and an offside on Hill. So that Rangers result against the Rams won't do too many favours for UNSW. They would have been hoping that the Rangers had dropped points. Meanwhile, the Ravens are 2-0 up against the Jets. Ravens behind UNSW, so no real concerns there. And as the live ladder stands, currently 4 points off the top 6, so slight ground made. Top 4 rather. Stingrays currently occupying 4th position. Puxty. Camilleri and Smith had to get out of each other's way, and now they've done so. The right-hand side of the pitch can open up. Instead, they look down the middle. Christodoulou was making the overlapping run instead. As Owen plays forward, but only to the benefit of UNSW. Christodoulou rides the initial challenge and looks forward. Early cross intended for Toby is cleared away before Owen brings it down to the feet of Jenny Hill. Capitanellis. Yamahata is right on her. Still, Yamahata is pushing to win the ball back, and can find their way out to the right-hand side here, Sydney, and they do so. Lemon, they swap back to left back momentarily and was well stationed to intercept. But there are some flashes in this game for Sydney Uni. Owen. Capitanellis are able to get past Christodoulou. They like this left-hand side here, Uni. Foxy stepping back to win it. Lemon. He was tripped up and easy call for our official there. Foul from Kokoris. So with just under half an hour gone here at the University of Sydney, things are looking very promising for UNSW. They're controlling more of the ball. Head on the score sheet. They're just maybe looking for that second goal to really put a bit of a buffer between them and their opponents before the break. Christodoulou looking to do that. Get a second go at the cross. This one is low towards the penalty spot before Feeney is at full stretch to intercept. And now Tay has a bit of work to do at the top. Hill. It's double teamed by Christodoulou and Santos. They can't quite win it back though. Owen. Hogan. Capitanellis. Yamahata winning it back well. Smith. Camilleri. She's got on the other side of her defender and shrugs her off momentarily. Toby is there alongside her. The cries of handball are boisterous from UNSW, but not heeded by our referee. They still have possession. Here it is with Christodoulou. Santos. Somehow still has the ball, does Marcelo Santos, and I think is whistled for a combination, I think, of offside there. Can't get back in time. Fante. Chips it out for Owen. This will invite pressure. Owen does well to deal with it, and not quite done just yet before she lashes one up top. And good news for the UNSW defence. They can keep possession again. Well, Simpson had to clear. Now it's with Feeney taking matters into her own hands, stepping out of the defence. Only finds fellow centre-back Aya Yamahata. Capitanellis. Yamahata has let it run. Tay is on her back here, and there's a coming together, and it's going to be the Sydney Uni corner. Now it's UNSW's turn to protest about that. They felt that Yamahata was pushed by Tay. And the only thing that matters right now is that it's going to be a Sydney Uni corner. Opportunity for Uni to get one back from the break. Previous set piece only found the side netting. What can they work here? Here it comes, it's a good ball. It's out towards the penalty spot, and a lovely header. Exactly what they were after. And Talia Capitanellis with the head this time. Doesn't score too many like that. It's usually the wizardry on the left foot.
Equalizer for University.
And exactly what they were looking for.
Header goal home. University 1. New South Wales 1.
A bullet header from Talia Capitanellis. Straight into the side netting. A perfect set piece by Sydney Uni. And they are right back in this one. There was plenty of chatter about the decision to award a quarter. UNSW will be thinking about that, but the only thing that matters right now is that Sydney Uni are back on level terms and thinking about pushing on here. Owen looks down the line. Yamahata had read that, but Talia Capitanellis, I mean, what hasn't been said about her already? That's goal number 11 on the season for her. She's come into this season with a lot to prove. Having now departed from the Western Sydney Wanderers, is off contract ahead of the next A-League women's season, and no doubt be looking to get back into things in the summer. And the rate she's been scoring this season, now 11 goals in 16 games. That's a very handy rate for a winger. Must be said, through this first 35 minutes of play, we've had two very well taken goals. Camilleri's first on the top of the box, a nice solo goal, and then Capitanellis' one, something of different quality, but still very good nonetheless. Just looked destined for goal. The moment it left her hands, and the moment it left her head rather, there's nothing that Howell could do to bring it into her hands. Now the game has really sprung into life from a derby perspective. Challengers starting to feel a bit more intense. Both benches getting a bit more lively. Sydney Uni, they're not in any direct danger of relegation. They should be well and truly safe. Finals are too big of a reach for them, but this is a young side that is really playing for a lot, looking to prove themselves. And they've knocked off some high-quality teams in recent weeks. I mean, they beat the Rangers last week, pushed Apia all the way in a 4-3 loss the week before, beat the Northern Tigers, beat the Bulls in a game that was awarded to them. It didn't go the full distance, but they were ahead 2-1 and the game was called off. And they've also beaten Sydney Olympics, so that's 4 really high-profile wins against not easy opposition at all. I mean, Olympic are probably the lowest on the table of those teams, but we've seen what Olympic have done in the last month, where they've really put a lot of goals past teams and beaten some high-profile teams themselves. Meanwhile, Sydney Uni are still on the attack here. Always rising. From Petkovsky, but Sydney have continued to threaten. I think at the break, maybe UNSW perhaps might feel they should be in the lead still. They've certainly had more of the ball, and through most of the half, they've probably been the better side, but Sydney Uni have had a couple of chances. They forced Howell into some action. Fante's definitely been the busier of the two, but now they're looking for another. Killer pass forward was slightly off from Capitanelis. Owen looking down the line. Boris couldn't quite keep it in. So about 7 minutes of regulation time. We might have a little bit of extras just for a couple of stoppages that we have had. As Tay steps in, is looking for the foul. They'll take the throw instead. Owen looking quickly. Kokoris won't quite get there. And now it's UNSW's turn to try and build a counter. Toby looking to get the other side, and standing in the way was Tyler Sandbrook. Christodoulou looking up with Santos. That's not the first time we've seen that combination, and there is Sandbrook again just to see things out of play. They've been very busy down this left-hand side. Owen and Sandbrook more so than Simpson and Feeney have been. The link-up between Santos and Christodoulou has been a big part of UNSW's play early here. Lemon has only really gotten on the end of crosses and things like that at the back post as Limon is pushed by Poppy Tay. Quickly try and get back on her feet. Of course, it's a rough surface, so no doubt if players are sliding in and going to ground here on the drier patch out in the middle, they've probably going to be expecting some bumps and bruises. Meanwhile, Christodoulou is setting up for this one. What can UNSW do here before the break? 5 minutes to go before half time. Looking to get something back. Here is Christodoulou. A good ball in towards the penalty spot. It's allowed to bounce. It's going to fall from Ostagimi. And Lemon's shot again. A little too much on that. Brief snapshot of goal, and we've going to request that another ball here. So this next 5 minutes or so could be a critical juncture in the game for both teams. They certainly both won't want to concede, but they'll probably be pushing to try and quickly get one back before the break. It's very much hanging in the balance right now. It's evened out. Scoreline, a fair reflection of where the game is at, with Sydney Uni coming alive more and more as the game has gone on. Large part down to Capitanelis, who looks to play forward for Kokoris. Tracking back is Mostagimi. Kokoris is still there and might have won it back here. A bit of work to do in the corner. That's going to stay with Sydney Uni. Throwing deep in opposition territory. Can they work here? Owen. Capitanelis goes into her feet. Hill. Hogan nods it up. It's going to come down with Camilleri. Tay is back pressing her. Camilleri is able to turn out of trouble. Santos. Camilleri. Puxty. Lemon is the target, but it's under hit, and they can break forward down this right-hand side before Puxty has won it back. Puxty unable to take full advantage of Simpson winning the ball back. Next break in play, we might give you a final score update and how the finals race is shaping up. Meanwhile, Mostagimi is under pressure by Tay. They won't want to give it away here, UNSW, and eventually they can kind of get away with Lemon. Now Puxty. There's numbers in midfield if they want them. Camilleri. Christodoulou is also bursting forward. Camilleri will just play the safe option in Yamahata. Between the lines for Santos. Sandbrook coming across and was looking for some support. In the end, is just forced to play it out. Only a couple of minutes left of the first 45 here. It's been a great uni derby so far. Here's Feeney. Tay turns, and he ran into more black shirts. Christodoulou and Santos. That time the link-up play wasn't quite as clean. Limon still has it. Yamahata. Now they go around the back with Mostagimi, as Pekovsky was trying to jam them in. Because Pekovsky has come off her wing, it's given space for Puxty to work with. Early crosses off target, but get the ball back. Familiar pattern of play with UNSW, just keeping the ball inside Uni's half. It's in the Uni, that is. Santos. Toby, they've got numbers here. Camilleri has played it well. A good opportunity here for Smith to take the lead, and does. Fantastic football by UNSW, slicing it up through the middle. And Chloe Smith with the finishing touches on a well-worked goal through midfield. Goal number 12 on the season for her.
Goal number 10, Chloe Smith.
Santos and Toby at the centre of that, as was Camilleri, and that's the goal that UNSW will replay during the midweek tactics session about exactly how they want to execute, because that was as good of a team goal as you will see all season. And it was off some slick one-touch football, capped off by Chloe Smith. Continues her great scoring season, up to 12 now in the year for her. Has blown last year's total out of the water now. Has gone 10 better than the 2 goals she scored last season. First year with UNSW, coming across from the Mariners, and what a season she is having this year. 22-year-old number 10. Goal that puts UNSW back in front. We spoke about how important the final 5 minutes of this half was going to be, and in the end it's UNSW that have taken full advantage. And meanwhile the Rangers have gone 2-0 up against the Rams. Harpy is still up 1-0 against Manly. And the Stingrays and Tigers at half-time 0-0. So UNSW back 4 points off the top 4. Now they're looking for another goal. That would be a crushing blow for Sydney Uni before the break. They're running out of time now before Alana Zich blows the whistle for half-time. Now the discretion of the referees. And I said in the pre-game prediction for the NPL New South Wales Socials that it was going to be a high-scoring game, that UNSW would come out on top in. I predicted 5 goals. We've already had 3. The way these teams are playing, I don't think we're quite done just yet. UNSW certainly the happier of the two, as Smith is still involved here. Didn't quite know too much about where the ball was, but put in a good second challenge. do with this young side. They've been in great form, as mentioned. Only one loss in their last 5, which was against Apia, and they head into the sheds with a bit of work to do. But it's UNSW who have hit the front at half-time. Chloe Smith's goal just before the break, putting her side in front after Camilleri's strike was cancelled out by Talia Capitanellis a little earlier.
And Smith in the first half for Union New South Wales.
So I've been Will Constantinides. We'll see you back soon on the other side of this quick break. The women's match of the round, the University Derby. It's all to play for. A good second 45 coming up shortly.
to go. Uni down 1 goal for Uni New South Wales.
Welcome back to the second half of football here at Sydney University. It's UNSW who have come here into the inner west and have played a very decent game so far. They've taken their chances when they've come. Chloe Smith's 8th goal of the season. 12 in all competitions, including 23s, and that has her side ahead at the break. A well-worked team goal. If you've tuned in late and you've just joined us for the second half, go back and watch that goal just before the halftime break. It was really something of real quality by UNSW, as were all the goals. We've been treated to 3 really good goals. Caberton Ellis' header put Sydney Uni back on level terms, and Trudy Camilleri with a great goal herself as UNSW looking to run away quickly. Santos is giving chase, and it might sit kindly for her. She's going to let it roll out, and for a corner. Smith was yelling for the ball in the box. So what can they do here? Christodoulou across to take. They've been threatening from these set pieces, have UNSW. They've had a few. What can they do here? Christodoulou to deliver towards the penalty spot. Flicked on by Santos. Now it's with Toby. It won't sit kindly for her. Lemon puts it back into the area, floating it up for Smith. Now it's down with Santos. Back on the deck, and it just wouldn't fall at a good height for UNSW. Christodoulou gets away from the defender. Now puts in a cross. Santos blocked by Feeney. Eventually they're able to clear their lines. Lots of work for Nasralli's young Sydney Uni team to do. Not out of it just yet. The next goal is really going to be crucial. There's 2 defences that can be prone to conceding. We know Sydney Uni have played some thrilling games as of late. UNSW have been a bit more solid in recent weeks. Just the 3 goals conceded in the last 5. They've found some defensive solidity, which has helped propel them back into the finals race, combined with teams ahead of them dropping points. But that's all that you can do, is just beat the teams ahead of you and stay in the hunt. Pinched in midfield. Well won by Hogan. Has Petkovsky ahead of her. Petkovsky gets the call to take her defender on, but can't beat her. Meanwhile, Lemon unable to connect. Still with Sydney Uni. And Petkovsky, not exactly new to Sydney Uni. It is her 11th appearance. All 10 of her appearances, other than this one, have been in the 23s comp. It is her first grade debut. Cross getting into the area, unable to connect to UNSW, and a wayward shot. Falls away by Sandbrook. The centre back getting up and having a pop. Limon has to go quickly. His defender on her back, and it's opened up this left-hand side for Puxty. Looking centrally, just over the head of Toby. Chorus doing well, not just to win the ball, but to keep it in. Limon goes sliding in, and that's a typical Derby type of challenge by Jasmine Limon, the former Ram. Sliding in there to win it cleanly. Have to get the timing right as well. It's not a friendly pitch to slide on, to say the least. And Smith back with Limon. Lemon. And Smith again. They play their way out. They found the spare player in midfield, which was Trudy Camilleri. And they've done that quite well, UNSW. They've been willing to back themselves against the Uni press and play their type of football. Potential counter brewing. Petkovsky is out on this far side, but too close to Howell. As Puxley can burst forward. Lemon is almost tripped up by Petkovsky, former teammates there. Petkovsky, formerly of UNSW, played with them last season. Making a first grade debut against her former side, always tricky. This front three of Sydney Uni has kept UNSW honest, even though they are behind. Tay flanked by Capitanellis, who's going for a bursting run here. Almost beat about 4 UNSW defenders on her own there before Yamahata had shut her down. Sydney Uni are looking for either a corner or a foul. They won't get either. They'll have to defend the goal kick. Under pressure now, and they've almost given away, and now they have good pressing by Sydney Uni. Capitanellis couldn't get onto the loose ball. Chris Adula could play forward for Toby. Toby's an isolated figure, is looking for that crossfield switch. Simpson bringing it down. Tay bounces over her, and she had interfered with play from an offside position. UNSW had the ball, but they have to stop the game for the player interfering. Mostagimi. Toby drops off the line. We've seen this move before with Toby, Santos and Smith combining for the goal that has the visitors ahead. Camilleri goes in strong. Santos with some quick feet to get away. And now Smith is looking to get in behind, and Fante rushes up, and there's a coming together. And I think there are going to be no real complaints from Smith that she collected Fante. She was certainly going to be second to that ball. But the strength of UNSW through the middle of the pitch is clear to see. And there's been a goal at Lambert Park. Manly have equalised. Sydney Uni are on the attack. Capitanellis. Petkovsky is in space at the far post if they can find her. Now UNSW have tracked back. Hill. Hogan. And what could have been a dangerous counter has been briefly slowed down here by the UNSW defence as Simpson puts a shot through, and, well, always going to be easily handled by Howell. Yamahata. Mostagimi. Mostagimi's had a pretty tidy game herself, backing up last week's performance against Olympic, where she picked up a rare goal. Formerly of the Institute and Bakestown City. Yamahata with a strong header, and this might fall kindly here for Alira Toby. They almost went from back to front in a simple header by Aya Yamahata. As Fante clears down the line. Petkovsky using her chest well to control the ball, not once but twice. And Hill is looking for the run over the top. And that's what UNSW have really done well defensively. They have slowed down Sydney Uni whenever they do look to get forward. Uni's lone goal today has been to a set piece. Usually quite a dangerous side on the counter as Yamahata gets that out of play. feet of Captain Ellis and Owen, former Spartan. Here's Feeney. Looking ahead and just realises she has to play that long pass forward. Is asking a lot of Petkovsky, but did well to control. Here she is again. Has Kokoris down the line, and the angle was well shut down by Puxty. Puxty coming across from the Mariners mid-season. So the second season with UNSW did go back to the Mariners, where she came through the academy. Picked up an A-League Women's Champions medal while she was there as well, always handy. Has that experience in her bag as a young player. As Smith looking forward. Camilleri. Owen is there. It's going to flick up kindly here for Captain Ellis, who now can think about bursting forward with a full head of speed, and tracking back to meet her was Angelique Christodoulou, who has had a tricky night meeting that assignment. Easily cleared by Puxty. Now she's got to get quickly before Petkovsky is there, and has done well to find Lemon. Lemon beating the first defender. A reverse pass for Toby, who has to create a bit of separation between her and Feeney. Puxty continues her run. Check the shoulder by Lemon, recognising she's got a bit of room to work with before Kokoris came across to shut her down. Kokoris tries to slalom her way through the midfield, but can't do so. Turned over, and it means UNSW have a bit of extra numbers to work with. Santos. Christodoulou flanking her. Just check back inside, and for UNSW this is exactly the sort of position they want the ball, just keeping Sydney Uni starved of possession, as Smith has found Christodoulou in a bit of space, not for the first time tonight. Can Christodoulou find the delivery, looking for Camilleri, poked away by Hill. Santos gets away from one, now looking for the second, goes to ground, no real suggestion of penalty there, it was a clean challenge. Again, another wave of attack is coming if Christodoulou could keep this in, and she does, now puts the cross in, but Santos will see that behind for a goal kick. Reminder, of course, the wind is blowing a decent amount down at pitch level. Not too much up here in the commentary position, but down at pitch level it's blowing in favour of Sydney Uni. They got the wind behind them this half. Hope to give Fonte a bit of extra territory on that goal kick. Goes into midfield, and again UNSW are just first to every 50-50 at the moment. Hill. There is Camilleri. Picking it up again, linking up with Smith. Now it's with Toby. Puxty has gotten forward from left back. Here is Puxty. Shot goes just over the bar. It was looking for that top corner. But again, it's more good football through the centre of the pitch for UNSW. And it's the bombing forward fullback of Puxty that was looking to add an extra dimension out wide. Like it was rising off the boot, and it almost crept under. Fante. Again, UNSW are just really eating up possession at the moment. There is not a lot Sydney Uni can do. Howell had to be careful she didn't take too long there, and again it's left well through the centre. Smith, Puxty, going for a more longer option this time before Simpson clears over. Petkovsky will try and get to this and does. Puxty battling for it with Kokoris. It's Sydney Uni that come out on top. Here is Petkovsky. Looks to try and take on a defender. There's two for company. Puxty is the closest to her. Drills in a ball centrally. Can't quite get it to go, and Toby's looking to try and take matters into her own hands. A combination of Sandbrook and Feeney get the better of her before Smith puts the pass out of play. A rare errant touch from her. Christodoulou winning it back well. Her and Santos have combined to great effect. Now Christodoulou getting forward is trying to find Santos, and well, that one is seen out of play, but there's a lot of work to do for Sydney Uni at the moment. Smith. They're hanging in well defensively. Uni, they're well set in their structure. The key will be just trying to stop UNSW from playing quickly, which UNSW have been doing very well so far. And they've been keeping the ball exceptionally to this point. Go from left to right. Christodoulou going inside. Santos looking for that ball centrally for Lemon. It won't quite sit for her. Fluid stuff from UNSW, this time on the right-hand side, and not for the first time tonight. Abby Lemon has been waiting for the ball to come down to a comfortable height to put her laces through it. And that half a second of anticipation of waiting for the ball to fall has given the defender an extra moment to pinch in and steal it away. That's the game that almost came off the back of Petkovsky. Drifted inside, and that means Puxty can play forward. Simpson had come across to do her work well, and so UNSW will go to the bench first, perhaps a little surprisingly, given they're the side ahead. And so Annalise Rasmussen will come on in place of Alira Toby. This is real firepower that UNSW can bring off the bench here. The A-League champion with the Mariners, Annalise Rasmussen, coming across to UNSW this season.
Substitutions for Uni New South Wales.
And this is not welcome news for the Sydney Uni defence, who have defended well in the second half and now have to contend with
number 46, Annalise Rasmussen.
Annalise Rasmussen.
Number 12, Alira Toby.
Feeney. So Rasmussen has gone immediately to the top of the attack. A like-for-like swap between her and Toby. And Toby was working rather tirelessly up front. A lot of work to be done on this wide and long Sydney Uni pitch. It's probably one of the larger pitches by surface area in the competition. A lot of hold-up play was done by Toby. Played a key role in setting up the second goal, the goal that has them ahead. And Rasmussen will look to try and create a bit of a buffer. Of course, as mentioned, finals still in play for UNSW, a side that made some big moves in the season and the mid-season. Live ladder with Apia drawing. Now with Manly United, has UNSW only 3 points behind the top 4. So that draw playing into their hands. Now they have to worry with Tay having a strike. It's a quick little warning shot fired by Sydney Uni, but it won't really trouble Howell. There were a couple of those errors earlier in the first half where they had given Sydney Uni a couple of looks going forward, but up until then it hasn't been a feature at all of this second half, as Puxty will let that just roll out of play. Switch the play to Christodoulou in space. Looking centrally for Rasmussen. Now she breaks forward, Rasmussen. Take it off her. It's still with Rasmussen. Was trying to blast it through. Wasn't far away at all. And what looked like a broken up attacking move almost paid off. Limon has found Santos between the lines, has gotten away from Feeney. Rasmussen makes her move, and now Christodoulou is in space on the right. UNSW looking for the third. Christodoulou still with Santos, can't quite get the shot away. Here is Christodoulou. Lemon tracking back. The attack's not over yet for UNSW. Camilleri. Chorus just has to hold up play and wait for support. And Tay is the only one ahead of her, but there's nothing really doing up ahead for Sydney Uni. Captain Ellis and Kokoris just coming across together to have a bit of a chat about how they switch things up here. Go about trying to get an equalizer. They have to worry about conceding a potential third with the way UNSW are breaking forward. Played by Sambrook, had to be quick. Captain Ellis has Hill ahead of her. Back with Simpson. Searching ball in. Intended for Tay. Was offside, and the attack will eventually come to an end once the assistance flag is spotted. Now it is. UNSW a chance to reset. But again, there are still ways forward for this Sydney Uni team. Sadulu. Rasmussen holding up play well, dropping off the line and linking up with Camilleri. Those two playing passes well, and that's exceptional work by Rasmussen to find fellow Mariner Puxty. A great worked move by UNSW. Can they finish it off? Puxty centrally for Smith, and all that was missing was the finish. And Smith has provided that already before, but again, more great football from UNSW. They're playing some great stuff at the moment. The way they're moving the ball, it's been very hard for Sydney Uni to keep up with. Lemon. Hill. Bring it down to feet, Sydney Uni. There's been substitution meanwhile, which I hadn't spotted. Juliet Harris has come on for the debutant Petkovsky as Lemon is offside. Tried to crane her neck to direct that header goalwards. All about Sydney Uni trying to force the issue here. UNSW happy to sit off, happy to let them have the ball. With just under 20 minutes to go. Still all in UNSW's favour. Of course, tried to turn the corner but couldn't, and now Camilleri can think about getting forward. Sadulu was looking for the first time pass, gets a second go at it to play Santos. Now Santos can look and turn. Still Marcela Santos. Yamahata stepping in and foul on Hogan against Smith. Simpson. Now Sandbrook. Long crossfield switch is exactly the type of ball that UNSW will be comfortable with. And now Sydney Uni are going to make another change. As will UNSW very soon as well. So a bit of action on both benches with 18 minutes of play still to go. So Amelia Kirby comes on in place of Megan Simpson. That one a like-for-like change at the back. And while Marcela Santos will slowly make her way off for another former Uni player. Georgia Plessas, formerly of Sydney Uni. And Marcela Santos has had to work very hard out in midfield, and this midfield has been the key for UNSW, the way they've been playing today. It gives them plenty of optimism about trying to chase down the gap to the top four, which at the moment stands as just 3 points. With what would be 5 games to go beyond this one. I'll be hoping that Apia and Manly continue to draw. Puxty and Camilleri got in each other's way there. One back well by Lemon. Camilleri. Stagimi and Yamahata, they've been really solid in the second half. They haven't had to do all that much, but most of their work has actually been with the ball at their feet. And now Christodoulou showing her experience to get forward. Rasmussen has the pace to get past the defence. Lemon is central. Christodoulou continues her run. Still edge late Christodoulou, and take it off her at the last moment by Amelia Feeney. Was looking to get it back onto that favoured right foot. They are playing some great stuff at the moment. UNSW, third goal is certainly not far away if they keep playing like this. The longer it stays at just a goal, Sydney Uni will back themselves to try and create something down the other end. Lemon. Smith. Goes back to Lemon. And Lemon. Lemon getting to the byline. It'll deflect out. It might just stay out here. We'll hold up briefly in front of the quarter post. Sandbrook. Launches one forward, and Poppy Tayer's had a lot to chase in this second half. Hasn't seen all that much action. And meanwhile, just as I gave you that score update between Manly and Arpia a moment ago, Arpia have retaken the lead, and so the gap to the top four is back at 4 points for UNSW on the live ladder. But the important thing to note is it's 4 points, but with a game in hand. So if they're able to potentially take care of that game against the Rangers, then they could find themselves just 1 point off the top four. Camilleri unleashing Plessas further forward. Here is Plessas. Would love to score against her former side, no doubt. Puxty, exceptional work just to calmly nod that back. It's hard to pick so far for UNSW, who has been the player of the game. Plenty good options come to mind. Great turn in midfield by Smith. Smith will certainly be amongst the contenders for her work in midfield. Rasmussen is the only player forward for UNSW. What can she create? And Sandbrook going to ground, sends that out for a corner. Rasmussen, just her 6th appearance of the season, already has a goal in that win a couple of weeks back. A few games back, rather, against Arpia Leichhardt. So Smith will go across to take this corner. With under 15 minutes of play here at Sydney University. They go from the training ground. Smith is short. Back to Christodoulou. Now Christodoulou whips in. Mostagimi is up for it, as is Rasmussen. And well, she found herself in a good position there, Annalise Rasmussen. I think that might have taken a deflection off the back of a Sydney Uni defender just to take the sting out of the header. Capitanellis. He's found Owen in a bit of space. Sydney Uni, a rare chance for them to get further forward. They'll be looking to try and make the most of it. Intercepted by Lemon, another player that's been instrumental in midfield for UNSW. The whole midfield three has been on point today, I think it's fair to say. The second half has really kicked things into another gear. Sydney Uni have been really starved of opportunities. They still pose a threat, and there is still plenty of time. And I think without this third goal, UNSW won't be feeling safe just yet. Lemon, pressured by Tay, and no one's pressuring Yamahata now. Christodoulou, quick little body feint to create the space and plays further forward for Smith. Smith, early pass. Rasmussen is the target. Seen away by Sandbrook. Up again for Camilleri. Already has one from this sort of range. Plessas turns her defender one way, then the other. Still with Georgia Plessas. Kirby stands her up though. Capitanellis has had to come right deep to receive this ball. Has had it pinched off her by Abby Lemon. Plessas swerving across deep to the edge of the box. Hogan. Kirby. They look over the top. Mostagimi is in a physical battle with Tay, and Tay has found Jenny Hill in a position further forward. He's just back behind Kokoris. The advantage was played. They can't quite benefit from it, Sydney Uni, but Tay and Hill almost linking up to great effect there. Yamahata disguises the heavy clearance, just chips it forward ever so slightly for Smith, and Christodoulou finds her way further forward. Space out here for Kirby. There's Capitanellis to her right. Looks centrally for Tay and finds her. Hill is in the box. The cross is central. And Hill wasn't quite close enough to it. The signs of life starting to show from this Sydney Uni attack. We said the longer the game stays at just a goal, they will really fancy themselves from this position to try and just snag something on the other end. That's all they need. But with the way UNSW have kept the ball, and the way they've really stopped and lowered the frequency of Sydney Uni's chances, it might just come down to one chance, maybe even two if they're lucky, Sydney Uni. Christodoulou. Further forward for Rasmussen. Her introduction to the game has been important for this UNSW front three. It's given them a bit of extra oomph on the attacking sense, and now Limon has gotten behind. The flag will deny her a chance at a one-on-one. She was on track there. And pass just a little bit too late. Still, it just underlines the great football that they're playing through the centre of the pitch, UNSW. Plessas. UNSW in no hurry. They know that their strength at the moment is keeping possession. Something they've done very well through this game. Plessas, centrally it's picked off though. Capitanellis. Ambitious pass forward, taken away by Yamahata, who could go on a bit of a run herself. Rasmussen is the option further forward, was looking for Lemon centrally. Yamahata puts her body between player and ball and has won it back cleanly. And 10 minutes to go here at Sydney University. It's still the visitors in front in the Uni derby. UNSW knew that this wasn't going to be a difficult, they knew that this was going to be, a difficult place to come and play, and they've continued to play their football. And they know Sydney Uni, their derby rivals, have been in good form as well. And so far through 82.5 minutes of football, they've executed their game plan as good as they can have hoped, except for maybe that goal that they've conceded. But the second half, they've really shut out the hosts. Mostagimi, quick feet to play forward. Camilleri. Close control that. Use the hand there to try and keep it. A wry smile there by the midfield veteran. Camilleri, of course, recently spent some time away at the Futsal Asian Cup. The women's national futsal team with a whole host of NPL players. Throw for Kirby. What can they work here? Capitanellis leans back and controls. Football to find feet with Hogan. This is good from Sydney Uni, sorry. Capitanellis. Early ball, back post. Kokoris is there. We'll just get away from her at the vital moment, but some good touches through the centre. Harris, Hill, Hogan, all involved. Drilled into the feet of Plessas. You'll have to go back before UNSW can go forward. Puxty is right behind. Smith going up, but it comes down with Sydney Uni. Christodoulou trips up. Now they have to try and Sort things out here. UNSW defensively. Sydney Uni will push numbers forward. Feeney and Sandbrook join the attack. Two central defenders, no doubt options from this one. Owen will stand over it. She looked to test to Carla Howell, or will she whip it in? This is a crucial moment here for Sydney Uni. Owen, lofted ball onto a Carla Howell and easily taken in the end by the UNSW keeper. Has had big gloves to fill in this game, replacing A-League experience of Sarah Langman, but couldn't do much about Capitanellis' header. I don't think there could be any suggestion of that. Meanwhile, her team are on the hunt for a third. Lemon, ball just evaded her. Kirby. Capitanellis plays forward for Hill. Tay is looking for that bursting run forward herself. Capitanellis is back in midfield to receive. Kokoris was the long option. And Indiana Carla Howell will, as most keepers do at this point in the game with their team in this sort of position, just try and milk a few more valuable seconds off the clock. It's been, I thought they might be set for more goals in the second half after the way the first shaped up, but we haven't got one. Rasmussen looking to add the buffer for UNSW. Still Annalise Rasmussen taken away from her, but her side will get the corner. And a chance to still add that third goal. See, UNSW haven't really committed too many numbers into the box. There's only 4 in there, plus Lemon on the edge. The rest are all standing around halfway because Sydney Uni have 3 players in attacking positions here. As Christodoulou will set up for this corner. Good delivery towards Yamahata. It's nodded away by Feeney. Capitanellis. Kirby was in a bit of space, and now the counter could be brewing here for Sydney Uni. But Puxty with her speed able to get back, and Camilleri at full stretch to win it back. Camilleri has been very solid so far today. And they've really needed that. Not just the goal that she did score, but just the general play in midfield has been so clean. Gimi instructing Lemon on where she wanted to play her, and now she plays. Lemon. Come on. Christodoulou. Only 2.5 minutes remain here at Sydney Uni, and second half has gone exactly to plan for UNSW. Camilleri. Feeney steps out of the line to win it and takes matters forward for herself. Just giving it away though. Rasmussen can think about winding up for a strike. And Fante saw it immediately and saw it all the way out. And with that, UNSW will make another change. Abby Lemon, her last involvement there, will be replaced by Sonali Singh. Meanwhile, there's been a substitution as well for Sydney Uni. Poppy Tay replaced. Alexia Saltarov replacing her. And so Abby Lemon, the UNSW winger with the A-League women's experience with Sydney FC, now departs. Having basically seen her side to get to this point, was maybe unlucky not to have a bigger chance in the game. Meanwhile, Camilleri has a chance herself. Trudy Camilleri. You don't blame her for winding up from that sort of range. Ostagimi had to head it with Hill right behind her. Lamont just hooks it away from danger and into the final minute of regulation play here. And then we're at the discretion of Alana Zich and our team of officials. Kokoris getting through Plenty of black shirts looking for the reverse pass. Christodoulou clears it away, but it's not quite convincing before Yamahata makes a better go of it. Rasmussen does well to get away from the defense, and Singh is up ahead. Those two couldn't quite link up, and Sydney Uni looking for something, looking for that chance to try and get themselves back a point. UNSW looking for this win that keeps them in the hunt for the finals. The teams dropping points ahead of them. As the live ladder stands, 4 points is the gap between themselves and fourth, with a game in hand on teams above. Yamahata taking no chances, but Sydney Uni still looking to push. Perhaps haven't had the late onslaught and assault on goal that they maybe would have hoped for, but they might get a chance here. Soltarov down the line for Hill. Just to try and dig this out of the corner and get a good crossing opportunity. Does Jenny Hill. Puxty goes well to go to ground and not just win the ball, but keep it away from the corner. Kirby. Last touch of Harris, and well, that brings the attack to an end for Sydney Uni, and they may not get too much time. Puxty will go for distance down the line for Singh off her last touch, despite protests from the UNSW bench right behind her. Tied pass forward by Hogan. Just have to do a lot of defensive work. Feeney has joined midfield, and Sydney Uni going to throw everything at this. A strike from distance, and well, that's exactly what Howell would have been hoping for. And from Uni wouldn't have done too much to trouble. Rasmussen picks it up now with Singh. So these two teams next week. UNSW are returning home to the Village Green to take on the Ravens. Meanwhile, Sydney Uni have the Wanderers at home as well. Correction away. Now, cameraman Dan Ullman on the sideline, snapping pics and playing ball kid. Kirby searching ball forward, hoping for the end product. It was on the feet of Captain Ellis, but too many black shirts around her. Camilleri just says, get that away. And Singh, it might fall kindly for her, and it has. Sonali Singh gets told to go to the corner, but puts a hoping ball for Rasmussen instead. And so UNSW pick up a big win in the Uni derby. They came here to Sydney Uni. They executed in the first half. They held the ball in the second. And the result on the live ladder puts them just 4 points off the top four with a game in hand. And gives them every chance of making a run into the finals with 5 games to go in the season. Fantastic game for the women's match of the round. I've been Will Constantinides, and we'll see you back soon for more next weekend.